So the first thing I want to say is that this particular week is not about making the most money, having the most money in your accounts. We're actually looking at something deeper, and that's your relationship to money. So your relationship to money is a mirror. It is a data point of imprints that have happened over your lifetime. What do you believe about money? How easy or how hard is it to get? What is what does your body say when we look into your relationship with money? We're going to feel into that a lot this week. And today, when we talked about the relationship, I invited everyone involved to close their eyes. So Sarah, you're live with me. Let's take a moment to do it because honestly, we can't do it enough. This is a very important and powerful thing to do. Is just close your eyes. Take several deep breaths. Taking a full inhale and then exhale just as fully. And after a few breaths, you feel your body begin to ratchet down, like just turn it down a bit. And from that slow space, from that steady space, we can ask about your relationship to money. Just take a moment to feel into that, not with your head, but with your body. Anything that comes up. There could be a little sparkly feeling. There could be a feeling that just feels like, oh, tense. There might be nothing. It might be fast. It might be slow. It might be vague. It might be chaotic. But what is the energy, the frequency around your relationship to money? We don't want to judge it. We're not here to judge. We're not here to fix. We're here to gather information. And your relationship is really two parts. Part of it is your true template, your desire. So you're being called towards things. You're being called towards creation. You're being called towards a way of living and expressing and being with money. But then there's imprints and patterns and programs and old data that is not serving. So all of this exists. So just take another few deep breaths, just as if you're just wiping the slate clean with each breath. Wiping away, clearing out old information, making space for presence, making space for you to be fully available with what's real. So deeply inhaling through the nose, fully exhaling through the mouth. Really allowing that sigh because it's a feeling of my body's letting go. One more together, deep breath in. Exhaling fully and completely. You might even yawn. That's a good sign. And now I want you to tune into your intention for being here. Something came through you and said, miracle minded money. There's something I want to examine. There's something I want to feel. There's something I'm meant to remember. What is that thing? What is that feeling? Is it that you know you're meant for more? You're born for more? Is there something that's going on in your money patterns that you want to uncover, unlock, refine? Do you want to feel more safe? Do you want to feel more relaxed? Do you want to feel more prosperous and flowy with money? What do you want to feel? There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. There's just what is. And it's dynamic, it's moving, it's flowing because you're dynamic, moving, and flowing, always in flux. So now come on back. Come on back. I was telling myself before Sarah came on that there's a graph here, and I can see that the sound is moving up and down. And I'm putting that on record. So we're looking into this relationship, but not in our minds like, what's my relationship with money? Let's look at our bank accounts. Let's look at all this stuff. We can look at that. But here's what I want you to know. We're looking deeper because everything you see in your bank account, everything you see in your investment savings, your debt, your credit cards, your income, it's all old news. It's all old news. It's what you've been creating up until now. We can look at it for data. What does this reveal about me? What does this say about me? And not even you. It's not you. These things are not what Nicole really is. These things are not what Sarah really is. These things are not what Amanda really is. These are just like relics of the past, relics of our programs. But we're here to rewire. And in rewiring, what are we doing? We're actually remembering. Remembering is gathering ourselves back home, coming back home to self. We're remembering what we are, who we are, and what we actually create. And we are powerful creators. So I want you to look at your relationship with money more so in how do I relate to money? How do I relate to money? And what I mean by that is like noticing how you feel, noticing how you respond, noticing what money brings up for you. And what I brought up earlier was this analogy of a relationship. For all of you that you have a relationship that's important to you, are you going to want to be more intimate with it, more loving, more connected, more communicative? You're not just going to be like, oh, I kind of love that thing over there, but get out of here. You kind of freak me out. You scare me. Like, you're going to be like, wait, there's something off. Like, I want to feel what's here. Like, I want to make sure things are good. But money is easier to ignore in those ways, in unconscious ways, in subtle ways. And there's things that just might feel uncomfortable, so it's easier just not to look at, or it's easier, or maybe you've been programmed to think, well, I'm just bad with this, or I just struggle here. But here's what I want you to look at is all of this can be unlearned, rewired. You can remember something new. So I want you to look at the relationship, and I'm saying this in a really brief way. And I want you to see, is this something that you feel like you need a fresh start with? Or are you in a stage and season that feels more like you're having a vow renewal? I said vowel, vow renewal. So I used this example earlier that like some things are on the brink of divorce. And like the only way that relationship is going to work if we're just like, we're going to wipe this entire slate clean and we are going to just fresh start now, right? And that just feels good because your past feels funky. The past has a lot of drama in it. And if that's how your money reality and relationship feels, I want to give you permission that you can have a completely fresh start. Completely fresh start. For some of you, you're really proud about how far you've come with money. Like money feels better. It feels good. It feels like actually this relationship is doing new things. So you might have a vow renewal. It's a recommitment, like you're devoting yourself even deeper because guess what? You're in new consciousness. Money is feeling different now. You don't have to meet money in those old scarcity patterns and that old storyline. You get to meet it in a new way. And this week and beyond get to be about that. So I apologize, I'm sniffling. I have been eating so much ice cream lately. And I'm like, I think it's giving me an allergy. I normally don't eat ice cream, but let me tell you that Tillamook, I think that's what it's called. It is so good. And I was like, okay, I should have never got on this because I've never been an ice cream person. And now I'm like, my eyes are watering. I'm sniffling. Anyway, I finished it. So I'm going to have to take a break. Okay. So anyway, with this whole idea of your relationship, you meet it however feels good. What I shared with the ladies earlier, I'm going to bring forward is I personally have had moments where I was like, I need a complete fresh start. I need a complete fresh start. Like the way that I've been with money, I need to just realize that that was a thing of the past and I get to allow the freshness and the presence of the now. That was a perspective. It was a decision. But there's times in my life where I've looked at something and said, I see this differently now and I want to recommit. I want to renew my vow in a way. I don't know why I want to keep saying vow. I want to renew my vows. I want to recommit. I want to come back to devotion, back to conviction, back to this truth. So I want you to feel into what feels true for you, but have a moment tonight. Some of you might hear this in the morning, whenever you hear it. And I want you to sit down, close your eyes, and ask an honest question. How does my relationship feel with money? Notice what you feel, write it down, any colors, hints, clues, feelings. Where do you contract? What do you feel excited about? Does something feel like it's in your mind? Does it feel like it's more in your body? Get to know all this, and then I want you to have a conversation with money through a letter. If writing it down feels good and that feels more true for you. Or if you're someone that's like me, which I'm a feeling person, I like to close my eyes and I like to speak things. You could do both, but have a conversation with money. You're having this moment with money where you are deciding, look, I know I deserve more. I know that I'm worthy, loved, and all these things. And I want to really own my magic. I want to own my prosperity. I want to let this currency of energy flowing, think of currency like water. We want this energy to flow. And for this energy to flow, we got to feel good with it. We can't be avoiding with it. We don't also, some of us looking too closely at what has been the relics of the past are going to mess up your flow. Like, oh my God, look at what I've created. Look at what I did. Look at this bill. That's a relic of the past. You created that in old consciousness. Let's open up to new expanded consciousness and create anew, right? So have this conversation with money, and it's like a declaration, a prayer. You're not begging, you're not asking, please choose me. I am a better person now. You're not doing any of this stuff. You are coming from the empowered place of, I'm a powerful creator. I am connected, and I want to know how powerful I am when it comes to money. I want to know how powerful I am to creating, to holding, to circulating, to manifesting, magnetizing, all the things. And it could be a conversation like, that also includes things like, show me the way, help me see. I noticed this little pattern here and I want to rewire it. We're going to talk more about that later this week. So write that letter and see what comes. This is just a thing from your heart, working with your subconscious, working with your superconscious. And there's one other thing that's important here. There are 1,000 ways to talk about, there's not 1,000, there's infinite ways to talk about money. There's so many ways to talk about money. And this conversation is not one about outer structures. You can go to another person and they can teach you about an outer structure like your savings account and your investment and your this, and then you take this amount and you put it over there. This is not that conversation. When it comes to money, we have outer structures, right? Like our accounts, our investments, our choices, our things, but we have infrastructure. And this is a conversation about your infrastructure around money. And that is your self-esteem, your self-worth, your perception of your value, your relationship to this energy, and how you relate to this energy flowing into your life and out of your life, and so on. There are teachers that will teach you that you should get 3 jobs, save all your money, eat only rice and beans, and that's your way to be rich. And guess what? They're right. That is one way you could do it. But that way never works for me. In fact, I feel like, what is the point of life? And when I do that, it never has worked for me. I have never been that kind of gal. And I thought that there was something wrong with me, off with me. Like, why can't I do this? Why am I so messy? Why am I so chaotic? Why am I this? Well, then I found out that that chaos was part of my magic, my genius of allowing life to create through me. And it was like that was misaligned for me. So what I learned was that by feeling my way rich, energy rich first, right? Because if we're exhausted, we can't have a big idea. If we're exhausted and living in scared city, I shared this earlier, now it's on my TikTok and Instagram. But if we're living in scarcity, and there was a pastor that I knew back in the day, and she said, you got to get out of scared city. You got to get out of there. And scared city is like, oh my God, where is it going to come from? Oh my God, I don't have enough. We better start cutting back. We better start doing this. Some of that could be from love. Like, why do I have 10 different movie accounts when I don't even watch TV anymore? That just doesn't make sense. But when you start getting tight, contracted, and you feel that your body is closing up the flow, what does that mean for your money? What does that mean for your creative genius? What does that mean for love? What does that mean for your cortisol and your well-being? So this is a bigger conversation. So that way is not wrong, but it's also not right necessarily. So for you, we're going to talk about this week is learning your aligned way to work with money, right? So for me, I know that that's not my way. I got to get my inner infrastructure right, because then there's no stopping me. And I know for some of you, it's the same way. When your inner infrastructure is right, there's no stopping you. The only thing that's going to stop you is your own willingness to be courageous and be authentic and be bold, because money wants to flow. It's knocking on the door of your consciousness. When you got woken up this morning, and you might have got woke up by alarm, but I'm talking about life waking you up. Like, you open your eyes, knock, knock, knock. You're here to live. There's another day for you. You're here to prosper. You're here to grow. You're here to evolve. You're here to also receive money. Spread money, make money, be abundant. Like that is a call in your life to be abundant, not just with money, but in all forms. So another thing is, how are you expressing your abundance? And we're going to talk about this week. So, did I forget anything? No, I didn't. So, I will say this, that I do believe that anything can be healed with love and like true connection. Like the worst of things, the if we have our heart open and we're willing, so much can heal. And this is a big thing with our money. So if you need a fresh start, need a fresh start. Go into the group and share, like, I'm claiming the fresh start. If you're claiming, you're renewing your devotion to money. Like there's a new level, a new dynamic, a new level of consciousness that you're working with money at. Declare that. Part of it is just us owning it and stepping into it, not sitting around waiting like, I'll be more powerful after this program, or I'll be more powerful after this. No, you actually won't. It's just we're releasing our limiting things and we're becoming more authentic, more expressed. And that is our money. So you got the assignment. Sarah, thanks for being a co-creator here with me in this recap number 3. Everybody better listen to this. But even the ladies that came to day 1, come to this. This is like the brief version. We did a little bit more of embodiment work and stuff like that. But this is even more reminder, and little tap on the shoulder if you can be live for the sessions. We're doing it 9 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And like I shared in the group, there's all kinds of astrology going on this week. And you can look at that from your favorite astrologer. But apparently it is a powerful, powerful week for us to see differently. So why not play in these energies and ask questions about our generational imprints and programs and create anew? Because we deserve that, and we've literally been called. That's why you're here and not watching something else. That's why you're in something called Miracle Minded Money, getting curious. So do your letter or your prayer, make your decision around that, and then I'll see you for day 2. Sending lots of love until then. Bye.